Genesis chapter 22. Some time later, God tested Abraham. He said to him, Abraham. Here I am, Abraham replied. Then God said, Take your son, your only son. He is the one you love. Take Isaac. Go to the place called Moriah. Give your son to me there as a burnt offering. Sacrifice him on the mountain. I will show you. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and loaded his donkey. He took 2 of his servants and his son Isaac with him. He cut enough wood for the burnt offering. Then he started out for the place God had shown him. On the 3rd day, Abraham saw the place a long way off. He said to his servants, Stay here with the donkey. I and the boy will go over there and worship. Then we'll come back to you. Abraham had his son Isaac carry the wood for the burnt offering. He himself carried the fire and the knife, and the 2 of them walked on together. Then Isaac said to his father Abraham, Father. Yes, my son, Abraham replied. The fire and the wood are here. Isaac said, But where is the lamb for the burnt offering? Abraham answered, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering, my son. And the 2 of them walked on together. They reached the place God had shown Abraham. There Abraham built an altar. He arranged the wood on it. He tied up his son Isaac. Abraham placed him on the altar on the top of the wood. Then he reached out his hand. He picked up the knife to kill his son. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven. He said, Abraham, Abraham. Here I am. Abraham replied, Do not lay a hand on the boy. He said, Do not harm him. Now I know that you would do anything for God. You have not held back from me your son, your only son. Abraham looked around. Then in a bush he saw a ram caught by his horns. He went out over and took the ram. He sacrificed it as a burnt offering instead of his son. So Abraham named that place, The Lord will provide. To this day, people say it will be provided on the mountain of the Lord. The angel of the Lord called out to Abraham from heaven a second time. He said, I am giving you my word that I will bless you. I will bless you because of what you have done. Announces the Lord, You have not held back your son, your only son. So I will certainly bless you. I will make the children born into your family as many as the stars in the sky. I will make them as many as grains of sand on the seashore. They will take over the cities of their enemies. All nations on earth will be blessed because of your children. All these things will happen because you obeyed me. Then Abraham returned to his servants. They started out together to Beersheba, and Abraham stayed in Beersheba. Sometime later, Abraham was told Milcah had become a mother. She has had sons by your brother Nahor. Uz was born first, then came his brother Buz. Kemuel was born next. He became the father of Aram. Milcah's other sons are Kesed, Haso, Pildash, Jidlaph, and Bethuel. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah. Milcah had the 8 sons by Abraham's brother Nahor. Nahor had a concubine named Reumah. She also had sons. They were Teba, Gaham, Tahash, and Makkah. Genesis chapter 23. Sarah lived to be 127 years old. She died at Kiryat Arba. Kiryat Arba is also called Hebron. It is in the land of Canaan. Sarah's death made Abraham very sad. He went to the place where her body was lying. Then he wept over her. Then Abraham got up from beside his wife's body. He said to the Hittites, I am an outsider, I am a stranger among you. Sell me some property where I can bury those in my family who died. Then I can bury my wife. The Hittites replied to Abraham, Sir, listen to us. You are a mighty prince among us. Bury your wife in the best place we have to bury our dead. None of us will refuse to sell you a place to bury her. Then Abraham bowed down in front of the Hittites, the people of the land. He said to them, If you are willing to let me bury my wife, then listen to me. Speak to Zorah's son, Ephron, for me. Ask him to sell me the cave of Machpelah. It belongs to him and is at the end of his field. Ask him to sell it to me to the full price. I want it as a place to bury my dead wife among you. Ephron the Hittites were sitting there among the people. He replied to Abraham, all the Hittites who had come to the gate of this his city heard him. No, sir, Ephron said, listen to me. I will give you the field. I'll also give you the cave that's in the field. I will give it to you in front of my people. Bury your wife. Again, Abraham bowed down in front of the people of the land. He spoke to Ephron so they could hear him. He said, please listen to me. I'll pay the price of the field. Accept it from me. Then I can bury my wife there. Ephron answered Abraham, sir, listen to me. The land is worth 10 pounds of silver. But what's that between the two of us? Bury your wife. Abraham agreed to Ephron's offer. He weighed out for Ephron the price he had named. The Hittites there had heard the amount. The price was 10 pounds of silver. Abraham measured it by the weight that were used by merchants. So Ephron sold his fields to Abraham. The field was in Machpelah, near Mamre. Abraham bought the field and the cave that was in it. He also bought all the trees that were inside the borders of the field. Everything was sold to Abraham as his property. He bought it in front of all the Hittites who had come to the gate of the city. Then Abraham buried his wife Sarah. He buried her in the cave in the field of Machpelah, near Mamre in the land of Canaan. Mamre is at Hebron. So the field and the cave that was in it were sold to Abraham by the Hittites. The property became a place to bury those who died in his family.